from Alexandria Knife Sharpening and Laser Engraving. So it's 2024 and I thought it'd be a good idea to maybe do an updated channel trailer. I'll probably keep my old channel trailer on the channel somewhere. Maybe I'll just drop it into like a regular video just to archive it, and so we can one day go back and look at it and see where we've come from. But I wanted to talk about the current things in the shop, some things that seem to be coming up that I wanted to just address, and talk about new equipment, what we're doing, where I expect things to go in 2024. And so let's just get started with that. So first off, I finally hit my first post-holiday season slowdown. So for most sharpeners, we're really busy from usually right after Halloween up and through the Christmas holidays and into the new year. Yesterday was the first time I didn't have anybody drop off in 3 months. And honestly, I really appreciated the break. So it gave me a chance to get caught up on most of my sharpening. I have about 8 jobs I'm waiting for people to pick up, but literally nothing came in. And I was really kind of happy. I was actually able to clean my shop a little bit and start thinking about, hey, what do I want to do the upcoming year? What new videos do I want to do? What machines do I want to talk to the guys about? And go from there. So first off, let's talk about a little bit of the new rebranding. You might notice I added a new logo. I am now kind of pushing the laser engraving. So the laser engraving is going really well. I'm getting really confident in doing it. I have 2 machines now. I have the XTOOL S1 LASER and I have a Laser Pecker 4. I like both of them. I'm going to tell you why I like both. I'm going to tell you what I think these machines are great for and who they would be great for, and why even having both for me is great and a great option, because they're very different style machines and they can do a lot of the same things, or they can do a lot of things differently. So we will focus a lot on that this year. One of the cool things with the XTOOL S1, there's not a lot of people right now that have the metal engraving laser head for that, which is the 1064 2-watt nanometer laser. I have both the heads for that. So a lot of the videos you're going to see out there on the S1 were done by influencers who were sent the machine, but XTOOL didn't give them everything. I'm not that kind of an influencer. Nobody sent me a free laser machine, maybe one day, but I bought mine, and I bought all the accessories with it. So I have the riser base, I have the fire suppression system, I have both available laser heads. So I have the 40-watt cutting laser and engraving laser, and I have the 2-watt 1064, which is for metal. So I'm going to do as many 1064 ones as I can, because right now there's just not a lot out there on that, and we'll go from there. And we'll talk about my Laser Pecker machine, which I really love. They've gotten most of the beginning glitches when it first came out on the market. There was and just so you know, this, all new lasers when they come out have some glitches, and then eventually they tend to get it all worked out with software updates. When that thing first came out, there were some glitches. There were some things that were annoying about it. It now runs really fantastic. So someone buying a Laser Pecker 4 now is not going to go through some of the headaches that I went through in the beginning, but it was nice. I was able to get it in early. I got a really great price on it, being one of the founding people with that particular laser. So that's really cool, and I'm going to tell you all about that and why I think that's a great laser and why it's not bad to have that particular style laser, which also, if you're an XTOOL person, the F1 that the XTOOL sells, very, very similar laser. I don't own the F1, but specs wise and what they can do, capabilities, they're almost identical machines. They do have some differences, but they are very, very close in their capabilities. And next, let's go back to the knife sharpening a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit about knife sharpening. So one question that always comes up, and I did want to address this, is so you'll see me do different videos and different things at certain times. So sometimes I'm doing a bunch of Tormek related videos. And then I might eventually move on to doing 1x30 videos, and then maybe 2x42 videos, or some other sharpening system that just happens to come out, or scissor sharpening with twice as sharp machines. And whenever I start doing like a different series of things, inevitably I start getting email messages and messages from people saying, oh, what, do you not like your Tormek machines anymore? Have you given up on your Tormek machines? Have you stopped using your Tormek machines? And I just want to clear that up and just make sure that everyone's aware of that. I haven't given up on any machine. And I am not big on bashing, oh, this form or this machine or this, sucks, or this is the greatest, or this is the only way to do something. I don't do that, okay? In my experience with sharpening over the last, what are we on, 5-6 years now, there is no perfect machine. So a really great shop has multiple machines. Now, that doesn't mean, and I preach this all the time, and I always talk to the guys at the Guild of Professional Sharpeners, which I think y'all should check that out too. I love the Guild. I've learned from members in the Guild, and I think I've helped a lot of members in the Guild learn sharpening. But one thing that I always preach in there, that Matt Rowell, who also teaches in the Guild, that we preach is we are not big on bashing anything. What works for one person might not work for another person, and you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on equipment to start out. You can start out with something as simple as, I got mine down here. You can start out with a Canon Elite. A simple $200 fantastic sharpener. As you can see, I haven't tossed out. There's been very few sharpening systems that I have gotten rid of. Now, there has been a few that I've sold, and if I've sold it, it's because it really didn't fit what I was doing. I'll just give you an example that I sold my Wicked Edge. It was one of the first sharpeners that I ever owned. Do I dislike the Wicked Edge? Not at all. The Wicked Edge is a fantastic sharpening machine, but it's a manual sharpening machine that's all done by hand. For me, as a professional knife sharpening shop that gets in a lot of gear, I couldn't keep up with the amount of stuff with the Wicked Edge and hand sharpening all day long like that. Not to mention, I probably would have had no shoulders left with the amount of things that I have to sharpen every day if I was doing it with a Wicked Edge all the time. But, like I said, does that mean I don't like the Wicked Edge? No. I think it's fantastic. And there's been a few times I almost regretted letting mine go, because there's certain things that the Wicked Edge did really, really well. But I had a very expensive Wicked Edge setup. It was over $1,200. And I decided I wanted to put the money into some other gear that was more suited for what I did. Do I think Wicked Edges are great? I do, especially for guys that want to sharpen their own knives but aren't really looking to be a professional knife sharpener and have a business. So my focus is mostly on business and guys that are looking to sharpen as a business, but I also like to teach just how to sharpen too, because I know a lot of you are not necessarily looking for a business. You just want to learn how to sharpen your stuff. And that's cool too. And that's also why I love testing out all different kinds of sharpeners. So, there's tons of great ones out there. TS Prof, fantastic, sharpening machine. For me, not really the right thing. The Work Sharp has a whole bunch of very similar type of sharpeners too. They're precision sharpener system. They got the Pro now. For me, same thing. It's probably not fast enough for what I do, but it doesn't mean it's not right for somebody else. So, a point here, just because you see me focusing on one certain thing, look, I have lots of videos. Go watch the videos. I use all my gear. An item comes in my shop, I assess what I think is going to be the best thing for it, and that's what I sharpen it on. And that's what's quickest for me. That doesn't mean if you're starting out and starting a business, you don't have to go out and buy all this equipment. This stuff wasn't bought in a day and I just opened and had all this gear to start out with. it didn't work that way. I literally started with my wicked edge, and what happened for me was in about a week's time, I realized this isn't fast enough for me, and it's not going to work out for me. And I was sharpening every night until 2 in the morning. I realized that I needed different gear. So that's my point there. One of the things that I always try and do is help direct guys to what's the best gear for you? What should you buy first? Because trust me, I made a lot of mistakes in gear choices in my first year of sharpening. If I had it all to do over again, I wouldn't have got a wicked edge. Okay? My second choice was my Tormek machine. And same thing, I still could tell you that that wouldn't be my first choice. My first choice would have been a 1x30, but I didn't have that guidance back at that time from anybody to kind of point me in that direction. But ideally, you know, in the perfect world, I think every shop should have a Tormek machine, a 1x30, a 2x42, different types of hand sharpening systems, a Ken Onion Elite. You know, they all have purposes, and if it's in my shop still, it's because I use it and I think it's a good sharpener, and maybe it's only, you know, something that comes in every once in a while, but if I have a use for it, I don't get rid of it. I keep it around unless, like I said, my particular situation with the Wicked Edge, where I wanted to use the money for something else and it just wasn't getting enough use that it was worthwhile for me to have a $1,200 sharpening system sitting under a desk. But that's it. So if you see me focused a lot on one particular thing, it's not because I've stopped using anything else. So that's been addressed. All right, everybody. So let me just talk a little bit about the two lasers real quick so that you guys understand why I have these, why I think they're great, who I think they're for, and why you might want to be paying attention to this if you are a knife sharpener. So I have the two machines. I started out with this one first. This one on the right hand side is the Laser Pecker 4. You'll see, yes, I have it in an enclosure, but this is a very, very mobile unit. And it's not heavy. I can pick this thing up and take it places. This is a cutting plate. This is two lasers in one. So this can engrave metal, but it can also engrave wood. It can do coasters. It can do just about everything out there material-wise. It can cut small material, thin things. It's not going to cut really, really thick stuff. But it's a very, very capable laser. It's a very capable engraver. And it has no issues at all engraving knives. And I'll just show you here real quick. This is the engraving test I have run on this machine before. And at 8K, which is its most powerful setting, I mean, look how dark black that engraving is. So it'll do a really beautiful black engraving. You'll see at pretty much 100% power. And these are, they call this depth over here. But you can see we're getting black at almost all these last three lines there. So it's a very powerful little laser. It just works differently than my other laser machines. So this laser stays in one spot and the laser beam moves around on what it's engraving. But it's super mobile. This will be fantastic for guys that are doing events. Like if you were a mobile sharpener and you have a small space and want to do engraving in your vehicle, you can do it with this machine. And they even make battery packs for this thing so it can run off a battery, and so it doesn't draw a ton of power, and you could do that. You could take it places if you were doing like fairs or shows or just sharpening events at different places. You could easily take this laser engraver and do engraving at a function, which is what's really cool. And I mean, it's even designed like this bottom plate comes out. I could hold it up against a wall if I had to engrave something. It can be shot in all different directions. Very, very mobile unit. So that's the one. and it's just super useful. Like I said, it's 2 lasers in one. It can do metal, it can do soft materials, it can do plastics. I've engraved all kinds of things with it, and it is super, super useful. Now, I have the new XTOOL S1 40 watt laser next to it. Completely different style laser, completely different kind of purposes, but can also do a lot of the same things. Now, this thing's 45 pounds. If you're a mobile sharpener, unless you had a really big vehicle, probably not something you'd want to take with you. This thing can cut wood, over an inch of wood. So this thing's pretty amazing as far as its capabilities. It can cut some really amazing stuff. It also has replaceable laser heads. So right on here is the 40 watt laser head. This one is for cutting mostly soft materials like woods, but this will also engrave things like slate and stones and things like that. Now, they also sell other laser heads for it, and that's what I have here. And this is the IR 1064 2 watt laser head for metal. So that's why I have both heads for this machine, and it's really cool. And I can put a knife in there, I could put bigger objects in there, and so the main difference you'll see, like I said, that one projects its laser and it moves back, but it's restricted to that little path. This one can engrave all this distance, and it moves up and back and down. This is on a riser brace, so I can lower things and put bigger objects in here. It's enclosed and has a vacuum system, so it sucks all the fumes out of the shop. It's just a really, really cool and very, very capable laser, and I really enjoy it. There's not a lot of people have this. It's a very new laser. So if you buy a laser system that's been around for a long time, there's a lot of videos and things out there on it. This is a new system for XTOOL, but so far it's been really fantastic. It works great and just does amazing things. I'm going to show you one thing that I'm hoping to do. I still have to contact the customer on it, but someone sent me this Puma White Hunter knife to refurbish. They wanted it repolished, re-mirror finished on it. It has a lot of scratches on the one side. So I'm going to refinish it for them. It has no branding on it at all whatsoever. But what's amazing with this particular laser is I can actually scan and mark the exact shape of this in here. And then I have the ability to place the engraving exactly where I want it. So I can actually mark out, so the original engraving on this goes right in this little spot here. I can actually mark this area out when it's in the laser and be sure 100% that it's going to go right in there. And then I could put that original branding right back into that knife where it was in the exact spot. And I'm going to reach out to that customer and show them a kind of a mock-up of it. And so that's one of the things that this can do when it comes to knives. It's really, really cool as far as engraving go. They work, like I said, a little differently. The Laser Pecker gives me a little LED box, and I know that that engraving is going to be within that box. Now, when I'm doing like the knife I showed you earlier, I think I showed it. Maybe I didn't. Let me pull it out. So this is my Spyderco knife. I'll just show you. And you'll see it's engraved with my name. So this I did on the Laser Pecker. I could do it on either machine, but what it does is it gives me a little LED box and that I can place on the knife, and I know, oh, it's going to be right in that location. Very useful. And they even have some technology as it's being updated, that laser, where it will actually draw, if you do the engraving in a particular file format, it will actually trace it out on that machine and show you the little laser light will move and show you exactly where it's going to be. So different systems and different ways of placing your engraving. Both are very effective. And there are also lasers out there that use cameras. I don't have any camera style lasers, but a lot of the embed machines, especially the CO2 lasers, will have a camera in the lid, and you use a picture of the item to place the engraving on what you're doing. So just different systems. All of them are very functional, and all of them are very easy to use. So that's the two lasers, and that's what's going on here in the shop. Hopefully this isn't too long for you guys to sit through. I will timestamp it so that if you want to jump to certain sections and avoid other sections, hopefully make that easy for everybody. But that's the updates of what's going on in the shop, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic 2024 as we start out this new year. And thank you for watching my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please share it with people. The more traction it gets, the more videos that get seen, the more stuff that I can do, and the more things I can bring in. It's all super helpful to my channel. I also wanted to mention too, you will often see me post affiliate links. Affiliate links are links to products and things that I use. If you see an affiliate link on my stuff, it's because I use it, like it. I don't post affiliate links for things that I do not use, like, or haven't reviewed. And the great thing about it is it doesn't cost you any more money, but I do get a small commission if you use an affiliate link for something. That extra money goes right into helping buy more things for the shop to test out, use, and review. So it's a great way to show support for Alexandria knife sharpening and laser engraving. So I appreciate that. If you use the affiliate links, thank you very much to those of you that have done it, and quite a few of you have, and I really appreciate when you do that. So have a great day, everybody. Feel free to leave any comments. If you have ideas or things you want to know about, or things you want to see, or things you'd like to see more videos or me go in depth on, please place it in the comments, and I'll try and work it into the stream of videos I'll have coming out this year. Have a great day, everybody.